Game of the season so far. Arsenal travelled to the Etihad on Sunday to face Man City, the two big teams of the last 2 years or so, and whom have sort of become rivals in that time. What a game this was. What a game. If I'm being honest, after Haaland tugged home in the first 10 minutes, I thought this was going to be a pretty routine match for City, even with key players missing, as well as another game where Arsenal simply just cave in at the Etihad. But no, they had a good spell of possession, and after taking a quick free kick, which was completely legal by the way, Arsenal equalised with a beautiful in-swinging shot into the top corner from Calafiori. Ederson was never getting there in a million years. With that momentum, Arsenal eventually grew more confident into the game and they managed to take the lead. Arsenal are so good at set pieces, it's ridiculous. And the reason they're so good is because they target weaknesses in the team. Take a look at this. So here, as you can see, moments before Gabriel scored, Arsenal took this corner. You can clearly see Martinelli blocking Ederson from coming across and dealing with the ball in. But the thing is, he does this in a way where it cannot be deemed as a foul, because all he does is just show his back to him. And as a result, Ederson is pretty much helpless. It was genius, and honestly, Gabriel should have done better here. But moments later, he redeemed himself. Same thing, corner comes in, Martinelli again on Ederson's case as you can see, and Gabriel makes no mistake this time. If I'm being completely honest, this game may have gone Arsenal's way purely because of set pieces. They're that good at them, but everything changed from the stroke of half time. In the last minute of the half, in an attempt to win a 50-50 challenge, Leandro Trossard fouled Bernardo Silva. And then as soon as the whistle was blown for a free kick, he kicks the ball away, to which Michael Oliver saw no reason but to book him twice in quick succession. Now for me, I've never been a fan of referees booking players twice in the space of 2 seconds. The challenge itself was pretty tame, so I can understand why the Arsenal players were so angry. I mean, how was Trossard supposed to know he was going to get booked for a slight nudge on Bernardo Silva? But then again, hasn't Declan Rice taught them anything? For me, it was more about the first yellow card, which seemed a bit harsh, but that was the big talking point of the game. Throughout the second half, Arsenal were, as you'd expect, under the cosh. I mean, you know, the stats show it all. 24 shots to Arsenal's grand total of 0. But if we're being real, Arsenal defended really well. You just know for a fact if this was Arsenal under Arteta's first few years as head coach, then the 11 men of City would absolutely beat them around the park. But no, they held on really well, just up until the last few seconds of the game. Grealish takes the corner short, gets it back whilst being totally unmarked and not picked up. Havertz is now terrified to put a foot in, given that he's in the box now and, you know, it is Jack Grealish. He cuts it back, Kovacic has a shot, Raya can only push it out, and it falls to John Stones of all people, who scored a late equalising goal in the 98th minute of the match, and City have totally pissed on Arsenal's one fire, denying what would have been an amazingly earned victory away from home at Man City, and a first at the Etihad since 2012. But surprisingly, that wasn't the end of it. Seconds after the goal, Haaland can be seen throwing the ball onto Gabriel's head, which by the way, judging by how some Arsenal fans reacted, you swear Haaland had bursted his head open. Unless Gabriel's skull is made of marshmallows, that is not happening. Haaland then told Miles Lewis-Skelly, who's the f*** are you? Told Arteta of all time to stay humble, eh? And then when Jesus of all people confronted him after all that, not sure why he did, he called him a clown. He was at the centre of it all at the full-time whistle. But perhaps the biggest news coming out of this match was Rodri tearing his ACL, which has now ruled him out for the season. What a massive blow for City. Rodri is the backbone of the team's setup. It's a bit like taking a walking stick away from a granny. You know, they can't function without it. This definitely makes the season that little bit more interesting. Arsenal really do have a massive chance this season, if they can keep their focus however. Because don't forget, it was a sloppy 2-0 defeat to Aston Villa that damaged their title run last season. They cannot afford not to cash in on this opportunity. That's all I can get from this game. Let me know what you think about this video. If you have any thoughts on the game, you know where to tell me. If you enjoyed this video, you also know what to tell me. And if you want to see more, you definitely know what to tell me. That's all for now. See you soon.